If this video is too hard for you to understand, I suggest using these scoreboards instead of the one that I'm building. This is part 3 of the baseball field tutorial, so make sure you check out part 1 and part 2 where I show you how to build the field and show you how to build a pitching machine. So in this video I'm going to be building a scoreboard and showing you the mechanics on how to hit home runs. So starting with the scoreboard, I'm just doing a basic scoreboard with the gloss black cube. So you'll need a customizable light, just a single one, and then you'll need a HUD device, a billboard. You don't need that light I just grabbed, but you can use it if you want. And you'll need a button, and you'll need a score manager. So the first thing you're going to do is set up your billboards to be extra large, centered in the middle, and white. And make sure there's no background. And you're going to label it home, away, and inning. And a lot of scoreboards are different, so you can put them wherever you feel like looks best, but I'm just going to go home on the left, away on the right, and inning towards the bottom. And then you're going to put a score manager under all the words so you can keep track of everything there. And I just resized it to be as big as possible and as thin as possible, just so it doesn't stick out too much. And then I minimized it to get to the right size I liked. And for the score manager, you're going to want it to be Scoreboard type to set, and that'll turn it green. You can't have any other color than green. That actually works the way I'm building this. So you'll need 2 for each team and then 1 for the inning, which I made a little smaller. And for the inning, you want to set the starting number at 1. And next we're going to get working on the balls, strikes, and outs lights. So you want to type balls, then put a bunch of spaces, then strike, then a bunch of spaces and outs, so you can select them all at once in 3 rows. And this is where you're going to grab the spotlight. You want to turn it to off at the start. You can make color brightness whatever you want and the color whatever you want. But I chose green to match the numbers. And then just resize it to the size you want. That'll look best next to your scoreboard. And for balls you'll need 3 lights, strikes you'll need 2, and outs you need 2. And you see that the bottom of the lights kind of go through the light, so you're going to have to tilt them all a little bit. I was just testing to see what it would look like when it's on. You just tilt it a little bit so that line isn't in the middle of it. The next thing you're going to do is connect the score managers to buttons. So whenever you click the button, it'll increment the number up. So take a button, I'm going to put it next to the home side so I know what it's for. And you can check your channels to see what channels you're using. I'm only using 2, so I'm going to start this button on channel 3. So when this button gets clicked, it goes to channel 3. So I'm going to move increment on the score manager to channel 3 too. I'll put one for home, away, and inning. So away I'm doing 4, so increment on channel 4. In inning I'll put the channel 5 and increment on channel 5. Then the button I put to the left is going to be the clear button, so I'm going to have reset everything to channel 6 and the button is channel 6. Then I'm putting the HUD manager next to every button, that'll say what it's doing. So just match the channel of the HUD manager to the button and write what the button does. So this one's doing clear, so I set it to clear and you can copy the settings. Then this one is channel 3, so I'm going to change it to channel 3 and make it say score home. This one's channel 5 and it's inning, so next inning. And this one is score away on channel 4. And I just started the game to check it out. Score home, it worked. Inning, it worked. And away, it worked. Clear scoreboard, everything works. And next we gotta set up all these lights for the ball strikes and outs. So the first one is going to be channel 7 because it's the lowest channel we have, and the next is going to be 8 and then 9. So you're going to grab a button, make 7, 8, and 9. So these will be the ball lights. You need one more that'll be on 10, that'll clear the rest. So clear on 10 for the other ones. You can just label the buttons ball 1, ball 2, and ball 3, and ball 4. And I want the buttons invisible, so I set it to invisible and made the radius 2.5 or 0.25 meters. And make sure the only button that is enabled on game start is ball 1. The other ones need to be disabled. And then you go to enable it, you're going to go in order. So the second one will be enabled on the first button, the third one will be enabled on the second, and the fourth one will be enabled on the third. And the first one will be re-enabled on the fourth one. That's just so one button is enabled at a time. And now I'm going to do a little test, make sure everything works. So you can't click any of them except for ball 1. So it turned on. Now you can only click ball 2, and ball 3, and ball 4. This is probably the only confusing part of the tutorial. If you're not used to building in creative mode. Like I said, you just want to rotate a little bit, stick them all in the same exact spot. Then be careful for the strikes because I mess up here and I put the first one to channel 10 when I should have did channel 11. So all of these channels that are on screen are one channel too low. So don't copy it, but it's basically it's the same as the balls, but you just go on starting with channel 11. So this should be 14, not 13, that should be 15. So here's where I tested it to see, and I realized it was wrong. And everything was messed up. So I went back and added one to each channel. And then I renamed all the buttons to what they're supposed to be. So here I realized that I didn't disable strike 2 and 3. So I can click all of them when I'm not supposed to. So what I have to go do is disable strike 2 and 3 and out 2 and 3. So you can only click strike 1 and out 1 on game start. So everything works perfectly now. And then now I'm building the score tracker, which you're gonna need 7 buttons. So I use this little red thing, 3 on the bottom for ball strikes and outs, 1 in the middle for inning, 1 at the top to clear, and then 2 big ones for the score. So I'm just gonna label all the buttons here. And for the scoreboard tracker, you can build it however you want. Then you just take the buttons that you used and put it on, and make sure the blue bubble around it goes through the real button, so you know it's possible to click. Okay, now I'm just going to test everything. I'm pretty sure it all worked perfectly. I didn't add a HUD message for the ball strikes and outs, but you can if you want. And then I just copied the whole thing and placed it somewhere that wouldn't interfere with the game, but it would still be close enough so you didn't have to go too far away to click it. I just put it right on the left field dugout area. And I put the scoreboard over in right field. Now I'm going to show you how to do the home run settings. All you need is a trigger and a HUD device. So for the trigger, you're going to set it to channel 100, transmit on channel 100, and go to the baller spawner and make that respawn the baller on channel 100. Then you're going to fill the whole home run territory with the trigger. So if the baller goes over the fence, it'll hit the trigger and respawn the ball in the baller spawner. And then for the HUD messenger, you want to write home run and have it on channel 100. And I just realized that I need to make sure the trigger settings are right. So all you want to do is have it set to trigger on vehicle. Just so if a player walks on it, it doesn't trigger a home run. So the only thing that'll trigger the trigger is the baller. And I'm just going to test it out to make sure it works. And there it is, home run. Worked perfectly, scoreboard works perfectly. If you have any questions, you can ask me on Instagram or Twitter. YouTube comments are hard to respond to easily. And Wrigley Field isn't complete yet, but I'm going to give you the code so you can play on this map because it works. I will be finishing the field later and I will make a video for it.